So I often like to challenge myself by creating realistic buildings in Minecraft. But something I've never actually tried to do is recreate famous landmarks in the game. But then that sparks the question, how realistic can I actually make these buildings in a game made entirely out of blocks? Well, obviously the first step is to hop onto a website like Google Earth to see what these buildings actually look like, right? Nope, instead I decided to go on a train to London to see them for myself. Well, enjoy the montage. And so I had arrived at my first building, and probably the easiest building that I was going to try and recreate in Minecraft, and that was Big Ben. And trust me, the other builds in this video took so much longer to design, it's definitely worth sticking around for them after. But let's get right into the first build of the video. Let's go. Alright, here we go with Big Ben. I'm pretty sure the tower itself is known as the Elizabeth Tower. It's actually the bell inside the tower known as Big Ben, before I get loads of comments telling me that I'm wrong. But for the sake of this video, we're just going to stick with Big Ben. And as you can see, we're going to start with the base of the build, which was probably the most difficult part of the build to get right. Mainly because of the block palette. It was really hard to nail the exact block palette that makes the Minecraft building look like the real life building. And also on the real life building, the windows are a lot thinner than I can really make them in Minecraft. So to just get the balance of making it look like real life but making it look good in Minecraft was really difficult. But I think it came out all right in the end. And now on to probably the most important part of the build, which is the clock face itself. For this, I decided to use a mixture of calcite and diorite because it blends to form this really good texture. And then I can just use World Edit to copy and paste the clock face onto all four sides. Highly recommend World Edit if you don't use it already. It's a really good mod for making buildings like this. And now onto the roof of the build. I did say that the base was the hardest part of the build, but thinking about it, the roof had so many fine details that I couldn't really make out on Google Earth, because on Google Earth it kind of distorts all the finer details, so I had to use Street View for that. But then I can't see the roof from Street View, so it was really difficult to get this right, but I think I just about did it in the end. But yeah, all I need to do now is finish off the roof and then add the final bits of detail and texturing. And yeah, that's pretty much the entire build done. Let me know how I did in the comment section below. Hope you enjoyed it. And then to find my next build, I only had to look across the river, and that's because I'm going to be building the London Eye. And I mean, it may look quite intimidating at first with so many details and curves, but I built another wheel back in episode 2 of my city build. I mean, it can't be that bad, right? Yes, this one was 3 times the size and twice as complicated. I mean, you'll see in the time lapse, so let's just get started. And so we're going to start with some of the supports for the wheel here. This is actually built out into the river that I made in this world, because if you don't know, the London Eye is actually built slightly out into the River Thames. It's quite a cool concept and a bit different to the wheel I made almost 3 years ago at this point in my city world. I don't know how it's almost been 3 years, that's just gone way too fast. But as you can see, I'm building the circle for the wheel here, one of the many difficult shapes to come in this video. But I used World Edit for it, I used the command //HCYL. I'm guessing CYL stands for cylinder, I'm not sure what the H stands for, but all I know is that it makes circles, so it's really useful. And then I started to add some of the more difficult shapes, including the triangles on the outside of the build. These were really difficult to get right because they had to be diagonal and also follow the curvature of the wheel. So to get them right just took many different attempts, but I think I finally got it. And as you can see, I'm also adding the capsules onto the outside, and I think this is where the build started to really look like the London Eye rather than just any other random wheel like the one in my city world. And also, if you want the world downloads for all the worlds in this video, they're all going to be in the description. They're going to be in the order that they appear in this video. So if you want to recreate any of these builds in your own world, or just want to look at them, I don't really know what else you would do with them. But yeah, they're all going to be down in the description. But now that I've done all the capsules around the outside and the actual wheel itself is complete, all I need to do now is add the spokes into the center. As you can see, I'm adding chains for this. I think chains are pretty much the perfect block for this role. But then all I've really got to do after this is add the supports onto the back so the wheel doesn't just like fall face first into the river, because that would not be very good. But yeah, after this is pretty much complete. I think it looks fairly realistic. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. Leave a rating. And yeah, hope you enjoyed again. And now we're moving on to the final and my personal favourite build of the video, and that's Tower Bridge. And I just want to say, if you've enjoyed the video so far, then please make sure to subscribe. I've got many more cool things like this coming in the future. But for now, let's get on to the last build of the video. Let's go. And so we're going to start the build off with the 2 pillars that go down into the water here. As you can see, I'm adding a gradient onto it, so the bottom half is darker and the top half is lighter. This is done to make it look like the bottom half is wet, whereas the top half is more dry. I used birch wood for the top half and oak wood for the bottom half. I think it's quite a cool effect and it works quite nicely. But now we're putting in the road and the blue railings and the blue structure which makes the drawbridge. Before going on to the tower here, the tower itself went through a bunch of different design changes. I started off building it with stone because I've seen quite a few other people build tower bridge with stone, but I just don't think it looked quite right, like the color was slightly off to the real life building. So I decided to build it out of brown mushroom blocks, or more specifically the inside of brown mushroom blocks. And if you don't know, brown mushroom blocks, especially the inside, are very difficult to build with because you have to place 2 next to each other to expose the inside and then break another. So it's just a really long and time consuming process to do it, but thanks to Welded it made it so much easier to make this build, although this is still by far the build that took the longest to make, mainly because of all the really intricate details and everything on all of the walls of the towers, and then the roof here, as you can see, with the golden piece at the top and then the windows at the side. But now we get to copy and paste the tower to the other side of the bridge, and I think this is where it starts to really resemble Tower Bridge itself. I think it's starting to look really cool, but we just need to make the pathway connecting the 2 towers. I made this out of smooth stone and prismarine as the main blocks. I also tried to recreate the emblem in the middle there, as well as the flags on the building. I think I did the best I possibly could with the limitations of Minecraft. But yeah, all we've got to do now is build the cables at the edge here, and then the build is pretty much complete. So make sure to rate it a 1 to 10 in the comment section below. Hope you enjoyed the final build of the video. And there you have it, 3 of London's most famous landmarks recreated in Minecraft. This video has definitely taken a while to make, but it's probably turned out as my favourite video so far this year, so if you've enjoyed it, then I think you'll also enjoy these videos on the screen now where I show you how to build a realistic city in Minecraft. But thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. And then the build is pretty much done. Make sure to rate it a 1 out of 10. Don't rate it a 1 out of 10, that'll not be good.